Number 1. The Memory Palace. Your brain is a masterpiece of evolution, but it was designed to remember where the lions hide, not where you put your car keys. We are terrible at remembering abstract lists, but we are geniuses at remembering spatial locations. This technique used by ancient Roman orators allows you to hack your own biology. The trick is simple. Pick a place you know perfectly, like your childhood home. Then populate it with the most bizarre, violent, or hilarious images imaginable. Need to buy milk. Don't write it down. Imagine a giant cow doing yoga on your sofa, spraying milk everywhere. The weirder the image, the stickier it is. Move to the kitchen. Need eggs. Imagine a massive chicken laying golden eggs directly into your frying pan while wearing a chef's hat. Your brain's hippocampus lights up because it thinks you've actually encountered a 3D location with a high-priority event. You are essentially tricking your brain into filing a grocery list under life-changing memories. By Sunday night, you can memorize a deck of cards or a list of 50 items just by taking a mental walk through your house. You aren't remembering words, you are visiting objects. It is a fundamental shift from rote memorization to spatial navigation. This is how memory champions do it. They don't have better brains, they just have better filing cabinets. You can build your first palace in an afternoon and never experience that "what did I come into this room for" feeling ever again. It's a superpower that lives entirely in your skull. While everyone else is scrambling for their phone to check a note, you're just taking a quick mental stroll through your brain castle. It makes you look like a genius, but really you're just a guy who knows how to hallucinate efficiently. Number 2. The ukulele. People think learning an instrument takes years of bleeding fingers and scales. They are thinking of the violin. The ukulele is the cheat code of the musical world. It has 4-string soft nylon and a physical layout that makes it almost impossible to sound bad. You only need 4 chords to play about 90% of the radio hits from the last 50 years, CGA, minor, and F. If you can make a peace sign and a thumbs up, you have the dexterity required to master these. It is the musical equivalent of learning to boil an egg basic, but it feeds the soul. By Saturday afternoon, you will realize that "Hey Soul Sister, I'm Yours" and "Riptide" are literally the same song played at different speeds. The music industry is a house of cards built on these 4 chords, and you've just been handed the keys to the front door. The ukulele is physically small enough to carry anywhere, making it the ultimate social icebreaker. It's hard to be depressed while playing a ukulele. It's the musical equivalent of a golden retriever. You won't be a virtuoso and you won't be joining the Philharmonic, but you will be the person who can actually provide the soundtrack to a campfire or a party. It's the instant noodles of musical instruments, fast, satisfying, and everyone loves it. One weekend of practice is the difference between "I wish I played an instrument" and "anyway, here's Wonderwall," but on a tiny guitar. It's a low-investment, high-reward hobby that makes you 20% more interesting immediately. Number 3. Basic knife skills. Watching a regular person chop an onion is a horror movie. It takes forever, the pieces are uneven, so they cook poorly, and their fingers are always one slip away from a trip to the ER. You can fix your entire culinary life in one Saturday morning. The secret is the claw. You curl your fingertips inward using your knuckles as a guide for the blade. This way, the sharp edge is always leaning against your hard bone, not your soft skin. It's built-in finger insurance. Once you stop being afraid of the knife, you start being fast with the knife. Stop the guillotine motion. Knives are designed to slide, not just crush. By using a rocking motion, the blade does the work for you. You will cut your prep time by 70%. What used to take 20 minutes of crying over an onion will now take 60 seconds of professional precision. Most people are terrified of sharp knives, but a dull knife is actually much more dangerous. A dull knife slips, a sharp knife bites. Buy a whetstone and learn to give your blade an edge. If it can't slice through a tomato like butter, it's not a tool, it's a liability. Spend Saturday morning with a 5-pound bag of onions. By the time you're done, your muscle memory will be locked in. You'll be dicing like a Michelin star chef, and your food will actually taste better because it's all the same size and cooks evenly. It's a fundamental life skill that rewards you every single time you get hungry. Plus, it makes you look incredibly cool in the kitchen, which is a nice bonus for anyone trying to impress their dinner guests. Number 4. Making pasta from scratch.
You
Italian
must use
grandmas
the
have convinced the
hands.
world that
This is
pasta
how
is a
you make
mystical
the
art form that
magic
requires
puppy
decades of
shape.
prayer.
You
In
want to know
reality,
the
it is two
secret, eh?
ingredients,
It's
flour and
simple.
eggs. It's
Flour
basic
and
chemistry, and you can
eggs.
master the
That
ratio in
is where
about
the
2 hours of
magic
playing with your
happens.
food. You make a mound of flour, crack some eggs in the middle, and start mixing. You are looking for a specific hydration level. It's all about the gluten development. You knead the dough for 10 minutes until it's smooth and elastic. It's the ultimate stress relief activity. How do you know it's
The
ready?
dough should feel
The
exactly
earlobe
like your
test.
earlobe. Puffy
Reach
and
up and touch
soft.
your earlobe.
That's how you
That
know it's
soft,
perfectly
bouncy,
proved.
slightly firm texture. That's exactly what your pasta dough should feel like. If it's harder than your forehead, you've messed up. If it's softer than your cheek, add more flour. You don't need a $200 Italian pasta machine. A rolling pin or even an empty wine bottle works perfectly. You roll it thin, fold it, and slice it into ribbons. You've just created fettuccine, and it costs about 50 cents to make a pound of it. Fresh pasta cooks in 2 minutes, not 10. It's silky, it absorbs sauce better, and it makes you feel like a culinary god. Once you eat pasta you made with your own hands, the stuff in the blue box will taste like wet cardboard. It is the ultimate low-effort, high-prestige skill. It takes one afternoon to learn, but you will spend the rest of your life convincing people you spent a summer in Tuscany learning from a woman named Maria. Number 5. Essential knots. Every year, thousands of mattresses and couches are sacrificed to the highway gods because people only know how to tie granny knots. A knot is just a clever way to use friction and geometry to create a temporary mechanical bond. You can learn the 5 knots that rule the world in 60 minutes. First, the bowline. Sailors call it the king of knots because it creates a fixed loop that absolutely will not slip, but is incredibly easy to untie even after holding a massive load.
Goes around the tree
It's the
and
safety
back in.
belt of the rope world. Then there's the clove hitch, the fastest way to secure a rope to a post, and the figure 8. The knot rock climbers trust with their lives. If it's good enough for someone hanging off a 1,000-foot cliff, it's good enough for your camping trip. But the real MVP is the trucker's hitch. This isn't just a knot, it's a machine. It creates a 3-to-1 mechanical advantage, turning your puny human arms into a powerful winch. This is how you secure a load so tight the rope hums like a guitar string. Finally, the sheet bend, the USB-C adapter of knots. It's the only reliable way to tie 2 ropes of different thicknesses together without them sliding apart. Practice with a piece of paracord while watching a movie. Once these are in your muscle memory, you stop being the guy who hopes the rope holds and start being the guy people call when they need to move a piano. It's the most practical 10% of being an adult you can learn. Number 6, basic sleight of hand. Magic isn't about fast hands, it's about slow brains. You can learn to make a coin vanish in 2 hours, and once you do, you'll realize that you've been lied to by your own eyes your entire life. It's all based on the French drop. The move is a false transfer. You pretend to take the coin with your left hand, but you actually let it drop into your right palm. Your brain sees the motion of taking and fills in the blanks, assuming the coin moved. We don't see reality, we see what our brain expects to happen. The magic happens because of misdirection. If you look at your empty left hand, the audience will look there too. Human eyes are hardwired to follow other people's gazes. You aren't hiding the coin. You are just managing where people look. You need a mirror and 500 repetitions. By Sunday morning, your hands will move with a fluid, boring naturalness that is impossible to detect. The more magical you try to look, the more suspicious you become. The best magicians look like they aren't doing anything at all. This one move is a utility skill. You can make rings keys or crumpled paper vanish. It is the ultimate icebreaker and the fastest way to prove that you are much more interesting than the other guy at the party. One weekend of practice turns you into a person who can literally defy the laws of physics, or at least a person who can lie to people's faces very convincingly. Both are useful life skills. Number 7, basic video editing. Modern editing software looks like the cockpit of a 747. It's designed to be intimidating. But here's the secret. You can ignore 90% of the buttons. Editing is just digital scrapbooking. It is the art of removing the boring parts until only the good stuff remains. You only need to learn 3 tools. The blade to cut the arrow to move and the delete key. If you can use those 3, you can edit 99% of the videos on YouTube. You are simply rearranging time to tell a better story. You can learn the grammar of editing in a weekend,
Welcome back.
learn the
Today
J-cut
we're
and the
mastering
L-cut
J-cut.
where the
See
audio
how
and
the
video
audio track
don't
here
switch at the
extends
exact
past
same
cut?
time.
That overlap is key to
This is how
professional
professional
transitions.
movies feel
Audio from the
smooth
next
instead of
clip starts
jarring.
before the video
It's a
appears.
simple trick that
Master
separates
this,
the
and your
amateurs
edits
from
will
the
look
pros.
seamless.
Beginners think editing is about effects. They want star wipes, fire transitions, and 3D text. Good editing is invisible. If the viewer notices the edit, you've failed. A clean cut is worth 1,000 flashy transitions. Spend Saturday on YouTube tutorials and Sunday editing a 30-second clip. By Monday morning, you'll have a skill that is literally the currency of the modern world. Every business creator and brand needs an editor. It is the most powerful creative tool you can own. You aren't just fixing a video. You are controlling the pace, the emotion, and the narrative. One weekend turns you from a consumer into a creator. Number 8. Touch typing. Most people type like they are playing a very slow, very frustrating game of whack-a-mole. They hunt and peck with 2 fingers looking down at the keys. It is a massive bottleneck between your brain and your computer. You are literally thinking faster than you can communicate. You can fix this in 48 hours. The rules are brutal. Fingers must stay on the home row A, S, D, F, J, K, L, and you are never allowed to look down. You must commit to being 50% slower for a few hours to be 200% faster for the rest of your life. Saturday morning will be pure torture. Your WPM will drop to 5. Your fingers will feel like heavy, uncoordinated sausages. You will want to quit. This is your brain resisting the rewiring process. Don't let it win. Around hour 8, something magical happens. Muscle memory. Your brain stops looking for the letter P and starts looking for the spatial coordinate of P. The connection becomes subconscious. You stop thinking about typing and start just thinking onto the screen. By Sunday night, you'll be back to your original speed, but with 10 fingers instead of 2. Within a month, you'll be at 80 words per minute. You will save literally weeks of your life over the next decade just by increasing your input speed. It is the ultimate productivity hack. Trading one weekend of frustration for a lifetime of lightning-fast communication is the best trade you will ever make. Stop being a chicken, start being a hacker. Number 9. Beatboxing. Beatboxing is the art of turning your mouth into a drum kit. People think it requires a special throat or a magic tongue. It doesn't. It requires 3 specific muscle movements that you can learn in 15 minutes and master in a weekend. It is all about boots and cats. The B sound is your kick drum. Keep your lips closed tight, then release a sudden burst of air. The T sound is your hi-hat. Place your tongue against your teeth to hiss. The K sound is your snare. Force air out the side of your tongue. If you can say those words, you can drop a beat. Spend Friday night in the shower. The reverb will make you sound like a pro even when you're terrible. You are training your mouth to move in rhythmic loops. By Saturday, your B will sound like a subwoofer, not just a letter. Then you add the lip roll. It's a vibrating muscle movement that sounds like an 808 bass. It looks weird, it feels weird, but it sounds incredible. You are literally turning your face into an electronic music studio. It's the ultimate portable instrument. No batteries, no cables, no expensive gear, just you and a lot of spit. It's a great way to entertain a crowd, provided they are standing at least 3 feet away for safety. It takes a weekend to get a rhythm down that isn't embarrassing. It takes a lifetime to stop yourself from beatboxing every time you hear a rhythmic sound like a car blinker or a ticking clock. Welcome to the addiction. Number 10. Counting cards. Hollywood has convinced us that counting cards requires a brain like a supercomputer. It doesn't. It is literally first-grade addition and subtraction. If you can count to 10 without using your fingers, you can learn to beat the house edge in a single weekend. The high-low system is the industry standard. Low cards, meaning 2 through 6, are valued at +1. High cards like 10s and aces are valued at -1.
The high-low system assigns
Middle
a
cards,
value to each
specifically
card.
7, 8, and 9,
Cards
are
from 2 to
0.
6 are
You
worth
start at
+1.
0 when the deck is shuffled. That is it. You aren't memorizing cards. You are just keeping a running tally of the deck's temperature. When the count is high, it means the deck is rich in 10s and aces. This is mathematically good for you. You bet more. When the count is low, the house has the edge, so you bet the minimum. You are simply waiting for the math to favor you. It turns gambling into a slow, boring investment. The hardest part isn't the math. It's not looking like a sci-fi robot. If you stare at the cards with wide eyes and a sweaty forehead, the pit boss will notice. You have to learn to count while complaining about your wife or ordering a drink. You have to be an actor first, an accountant second. It's not illegal to count cards, but casinos are private property. They can kick you out for being too good. Getting backed off is a badge of honor for a card counter. It means the math worked. One weekend of practice with a deck of cards is all it takes to gain a 1% edge over the house. That doesn't sound like much, but in the world of probability, it's a superpower. If you want to learn more ways to hack your reality, click subscribe. Thanks for watching.